A PowerPoint or Keynote deck is not only about the visual composition that you create. It's mostly about the story that you are telling. Creating a presentation is telling a story to your audience. I'm not saying that the visual is not important. Of course it is. I'm saying the visual is complementary to your story, to the story that you are telling. There are two types of stories. The internal story. What am I thinking while I see this very video right here, right now? This story belongs only to you, and it's my mission to drive you on the path that I want your brain to be. The external story. What you are trying to tell people, wherever you are. In home with your family, in work, in a bar with friends, in a trip with your wife, in a supermarket with your mom, etc. That's me right here, right now, telling you an external story. If I were seeing your presentation, I would be in an internal story because I'm thinking about your presentation. And you are in an external story because you want my brain to follow the path you want it to follow. Got the difference? In practice, when you are presenting your product, your idea, or your project, you are also telling a story. You are being perceived as a story. Dominating this narrative is what will ensure you to have the maximum retention from your audience as possible. By the time this course here was recorded, we were at the middle of the second big wave of COVID-19 and everybody are in home and doing virtual meetings and virtual presentations. What an even better moment to create stunning presentations. It's a mistake to believe that the stories that you tell on your personal life are different than the ones you tell on your professional work. It's very common to see people making professional presentations too formal, too boring. It's like you are not a lawyer, your friends are not lawyers, and you are trying to read them the civil code. What are the chances your friends will pay attention to you more than 10 seconds? This much, right? What this means in the professional world: adding too many attention-grabbing elements on your slide, you are making a slide very complicated by adding several elements that don't add to your story. For instance, this is the message that we want to give, that the presenting is telling a story, and this is the main message. But normal people will think, you know what, I want to add my logo here, because it's branding, but then my name is missing, so let's add my name. And this is given to my customer, so let's add my customer logo here as well. And today is November 29th, so let's add November and the slide number here. But if I add one image, it would be even better, so let's add an image. And also, let's not forget the slide title. So you see, guys, we just made the message, which was presenting is telling a story, a lot confused with a lot of other elements. Got the idea? The story is not on the slide, it's on you. Write this down, folks. As much you talk and as less you read your presentation, as better you will be perceived by your audience. What is the ideal scenario? A presentation where you are face to face to your audience, standing backwards to your presentation, and you don't even look back to see where you are. You simply dominate your subject. Follow me in my channel here, folks, and you will learn how to reach that level very soon. This will be the very first moment where you will impress your audience and perform a memorable after memorable presentation. People don't relate it to your presentation, they relate it to you. Slides with too many texts only serve to reduce the insecurity of the person presenting it. If you dominate your subject, and you should, you don't need to write more than a few words on it. If you have too many texts on your slide, your audience will read it a lot faster than you verbalizing it, and will end up waiting for you to finish your readout. Can you imagine how bad is that situation? Now remember, when was the last time you saw someone doing that? I bet it was not too far ago. The presentation, folks, is just a guide. You are the story. Despite all of this, there are value and importance on presentations. Let's see how. There are two types of presentation. Presentations on emails. It's very common nowadays to create plans using PowerPoint. Why is that? Because a presentation is a lot easier to digest than a letter style document. Even if your presentation is dense, it won't be as dense as a letter. People just feel easier to move on little by little than stopping reading a whole page of information. So, in this type of presentation, it's normal to add lots of information because your audience is expecting it. The key here is to do it nice, visually attractive, and make a smart use of how your brain interprets information at your favor. Check out on my channel. I have other videos addressing this very strategy. Presentations that you run yourself. This is the one that definitively brings notoriety to you, not to the presentation. At the very end, folks, even if your slide is beautiful, and if you check this video up here, you will get started in how to create them. What's sticking to people's mind is the story and how you presented it. Final tip here, folks. Whenever you get a task to produce a presentation, put in your mind that you need to deliver a story, not a presentation, to start changing the way you think. Got it? Did you think this content was helpful for you? Check out my channel then. There are several more tips like this one, reviews, overviews, and hands-on how-tos, completely focusing on expediting your professional journey to the success. Aren't you a subscriber yet? This is kind of contradicting, don't you think? What happens whenever you like something? You want more, right? So why not subscribe now? By subscribing to my channel, you will give me a tremendous help in growing it and allow me to keep posting videos like this very one here. Also, please don't forget my like. Thank you so much for watching. See you on next week.